Hello and welcome to another episode of Citadel Guard Adventures. This is Beriathan of the Citadel Guard of Gondor and we're back in Amdan in Azanulbizar, but before we finish the main quest by talking to Thrain, there are actually a few more side quests that we can finish in here. We will be leaving this place for good really soon, so we better finish this first. A good hold you've brought! Our fires will burn strong this night. Where's Baldi? Okay, yeah, he's over here. You have done much to help the cause. Our victory will be in part due to your efforts. Alright. Now, gotta turn in the Trophy Hunter quest. Actually, let us first travel to Sirakashar. Once again, that scouting quest, I don't know what the deal was behind it. Maybe we did this all backwards, but having to backtrack to Sirakashar just for this one quest feels a little bit awkward. Right, there we go. Take your time.
Excellent work, Hermáth.
The information you gather will be instrumental in planning our attacks upon the enemy. Yeah, we were supposed to do that quest way sooner than we did. I don't know exactly how, but well, we completed that one already. That's what matters now. Couple more things to be done in here. So first of all, we're gonna complete the Trophy Hunter deed, I think, or we're gonna... What are we gonna get first? Or the Explorer deed. Jesus, I'm so lost right now. I think for the Explorer deed we need to actually come out of Amdan. Or no, maybe there is a way of doing this from inside a camp. Jeez, I'm so lost right now. We're about to finish everything at Azanulbizar in any case, so we're about to head back to familiar territory, and maybe I won't screw up as bad when we're back in Elderslade when we move on to Gundabad. I've only done Gundabad once, so I wouldn't count on it, but we'll see. We're almost there. That's exciting.
We are friends to Durin's folk.
What is this now? Elgor inspects Krumpuk's hand and unfurls the crude missive it holds. The Great Goblin, eh? Aye, it could be Azog, but I wouldn't be so sure. If this war's taught us anything, it's that worse things are often hiding just out of sight. I'll make certain that Thrain says this. Awesome. So completed 3 of a Krumpuk's hand. And so that strange little goblin's errand would remain unfinished. That's great. Completed Trophy Hunter of Azanulbizar. So we got a new title. Fidelity is now level 57. And alright. You have learned much of the rare trophies taken by Hermáth Stormhammer during the War of the Dwarves and Orcs. Trophy Hunter of Azanulbizar. I got a feeling we need to come through here. Let us jump. Yeah, Labam-gairu the Whitcleft. Fidelity, He's level 58 even. Alright, that's even better. Yeah, maybe there was a way to this river from the upper portion of the camp. I am so lost right now with that. Oh, the enhancement runes from the Goblin Slayer deed. I almost missed them. I kind of forgot they don't go into your inventory automatically. Oh, that was close. That was a close one. I know, this was the way into the river from the camp. We didn't even need to jump and break our legs. But what's done is done. At least now we can go back to the king, and yeah, that's basically everything we need to do now. So if we play our cards right, we will be able to finish the interlude on this episode so that we can begin Fate of Gundabad on the next one. And can you believe it? Because I can't. I mean, on one hand, this interlude has been way shorter than I thought it would be, but on the other hand, it's so exciting to finally be approaching LOTRO's latest, well, not latest expansion, but the latest expansion at level cap, and start working our way towards level 140. Oh my god, I didn't think this day would come so soon, to be honest with you. Although I wish it had gone elsewise, the war has ended. Too many were the omens that followed the death of Azog, and I must heed them. You fought admirably, Hermáth, as did so many of our kin, but they are now Marazran, burned dwarves, and we remain to reckon with our fortunes, both good and ill. I hold hope that Khazad-dûm will yet be ours once more, but such a prize will not be easily won.
It will soon be time to return to the Iron Hills, my friend. I, for one, will be glad to leave this place behind.
Alas for Azanulbizar, Hermáth. May to remain in our memory as it was in the time of Khazad-dûm. It will soon be time to return to the Iron Hills, my friend. I, for one, will be glad to leave this place behind. Oh! We got a reputation! I didn't expect that. Completed. Well, we got a lot of deeds too, so that helped a lot. So, you're standing with the Hermáth is now Uskas. We got, well, runes, crafting items. Beriathan, Bookworm. Oh, what a nice title. What an amazing title. And Uskas to the Hermáth of Thrain. We'll need to check those two deeds. So we have here the Uskas deed completed, 10 LOTRO points, and some currency and the title, but also, well, Remnants of Khazad-dûm, we already completed, and the Battle of Azanulbizar, Bookworm, some Virtue XP. You have reached the rank of Uskas within the Hermáth of Thrain. But where is the other title? I like that one a lot better. I don't see it. Oh, come on, that can be so hard. I mean, I know I have a search bar, but... Ah, okay, I see it now. It was somewhere around here. You see, it wasn't that hard. Bookworm, you have studied the key moments in Hermáth Stormhammer's account of the Battle of Azanulbizar. It's a nice title. Very fitting for a lore master, maybe a runekeeper. A great title, and here we are. Uskas, awesome. So we just need to do roughly 10 days of just turning tasks to max this reputation. It's not as hard, really. You must earn the rank of Favaral in the Hermáth of Thrain, yeah, that's true, and 10 LOTRO points. But with these, we are about to finish the interlude of the Blood of Azog. It's just that I wanna grab a screenshot of it, as usual. Now, as you see here, we have once again the sepia filter every time we listen to Hermáth's account directly. But what I wonder, I haven't tested enough, is if we like run away from this location, oh yeah, the filter goes away. So it's proximity sensitive with Hermáth. I think that makes more sense than having the filter applied to the game until you talk to him. And so the pirates burned away, and so the Ashen Dale of Azanulbizar was abandoned. Although none beheld them at the battle's end, we later learned the elves of the Golden Wood had borne witness to our deeds, spying the smoke from afar as it rose into the sky above the dale. As King Thorin had named them at Durin's Stone, the Maras-ran, the Burnt Dwarves, came to occupy a place of great honor and reverence among Durin's folk. Long after, among each of the 7 houses, all a dwarf needed to say about his ancestor was, he was Maras-run, and it would elicit grief nods and murmurs of respect. In time, the other houses departed back to their homes, bearing the burdens of the arms and armor collected from their dead. As for the Iron folk, we too departed, making the long journey back to Yarenfast. Dane became the Lord of Iron Hills, in all but title, for Gror had become lost in his sorrows, surviving his father, brothers, and now his son alike, with not one among them whose bones he could honor. Last of all, King Thrain and the exiles departed. They were few now and weary, having lost much and won little in the war, but south they went along the Great Whale, until at last they returned to Sudrugund. The 6th war of the Dwarves and Orcs was ended, the cost too great, the price too small to hold. Alrighty. And with this, having completed the Battle of Azanulbizar, we can at long last advance buried promises with Hersegg back in the present day. Dane in here has the quest for the raid, the Fall of Khazad-dûm. We're not doing that today once again. If at some point we can find a group for it, that will be welcome. If not, that will be okay. We have some runes in here. Tracery, recklessness, that's just okay. We're gonna take care of that later. And now what else does Hermáth have to say? Alright. Just dailies. Hermáth would also give you dailies. You can complete... You can get, what, about 4,000 reputation each day just by doing the dailies, not counting tasks. So yeah, you can finish your reputation with the Labam-gairu really quickly if need be. But once again, we're not doing that today. We have just finished the accounts of Azanulbizar, and we can technically master back to where we need to be. But I think this is the last time the last chance we'll get to use the portal in here, so might as well do it, right? God, I'm so excited to be headed to Gundabad. We just need to finish a couple things on today's episode, and that'll be it.
Yes?
Elskur, let me think. Oh yes, I do remember now. Grandfather often spoke of him. He was one of the burned, sadly. You asked her about the necklace. Why no, Grandfather never mentioned going back for that. I imagine that it could still be there. So, yeah, we'll need to do that. Once again, a little bit counterintuitive, going all the way back to Dimbrildale just for a necklace, but it's such a small, nice quest, and it will give us the chance of revisiting the Dimbrildale and see how the new landscape looks on the present day, something that, once again, we didn't get the chance for when we were questing at level 60. That it's worth taking a look. And once again, I am quite sure that was the entire purpose of that quest. But it was very cleverly done, forcing you to go back to the present day version of the Dimbrildale without having it feel like the game is actually forcing you, having a very good reason for it. And as far as I remember, the end of this quest is also very touching, but we'll need to get the necklace first to discover that. But we are still in Erebor, so might as well go to King Thorin. We'll tell him, well, we have already finished what you wanted us to do, so what comes next? We need to go back to Durin with the reinforcements, but also with whatever advice you want to give Prince Durin. So yeah, we still have a lot of things to do. And you remember at the start of the interlude I told you that was the second to last chance we would get of coming back to the hole under the mountain. I think this is the last time we'll see this hole for a very long time. So bathe in the view as much as you can. I know I am. It's a great place to be. Every time I come here, I spot new details and I am amazed at how amazing this place is. And I'm sure the next time we'll come back here, I will have the same reaction. Who knows when that's gonna be, however.
What did you make of Hermáth's account, my friend?
You talked to King Thorin about Hermáth's account of the battle, making note of certain moments. Very good. I am told it is quite a faithful retelling of the battle. Speaking as a dwarf who wasn't there, of course. While you were off with the Carnupnar, I had time to consider our next course of action. My son awaits his reinforcements. So we got Guys of Hermáth Stormhammer, some runes. Some of those runes don't have a level cap, once again, so we're gonna save those for when we hit level 131. For the time being, we're gonna leave it in there. We have one more slot on our quick bar, and I think we're gonna take Hermáth's guys in here. Okay, let's take this portent out. Let's take this in here so that we can now take this in here and get the portent back in. We are about to out-level the portents in any way, so that will be leaving our quick slots soon enough, I guess.
Let us make certain that Durin receives his reinforcements. The Gabil'akkâ must be well prepared for the conquest of the mountain home.
To that end, I have written a number of missives to be delivered to other Longbeard holdings across the world, as well as those of our cousins, the Landarim and Narfangolth. Among several others, I have called upon all the dwarves of Thorin's Hall, Gabil'akkâ, and even Gabil'akkâ in the realm of Old Angmar. None shall be excluded from joining the Gabil'akkâ, for as my son rightly said, there will be need for dwarves of all vocations at Gundabad in the days ahead. In addition, I have drafted missives to the kings of the Temamir, the Abnushu, and the Cambrada. After all, it is high time they learned of their cousins from Mordor. I do not know if any among them will send word in return, but I hold hope that the old friendships between our peoples have not been forgotten. I ask that you seek out Skala, Pisbur, Freki, Garni, and Uthvar here at Erebor, and see that they bring word of the master to the mountain home. Will you deliver these missives to my riders, Beriathan? I mean, please tell me all of these guys are inside the hole under the mountain. It seems it's just a straight line to the exit. I hope that's the case. Isbur accepts the missive and prepares to set off. It will be curious to see how our cousins in the east have fared since the war. Okay, I know where you're going. Freki, Garni, Skala, Uthvar. Let's keep our eyes open. Once again, I'm not sure if we need to leave the hole under the mountain for it. It seems so. Ah, okay. No. There is another one guy here. Skala. If the king under the mountain wishes it, it will be done. But where are you going? Now I'm wondering, did we miss Freki and Garni? I mean, I didn't see any other dwarf in this hallway, but maybe I missed one or two. Doesn't seem to be it. Okay, let us continue. Oh, one of the guys is right next to the Hall of the Karunupnar. So we didn't miss anyone. That's good. Now I'm thinking where to first. Reggie, there you are. I have made the journey to Thorin's Hall many times. Consider it done. After so many years apart, I wonder what the Cambrad and Stout Axes will make of each other. Alright, we have just one more location left to go, but I think I'm actually gonna master in Caras Galadon. I think that's gonna be faster. Once again, we're gonna do the Buried Promises questline really quick. But that questline will bring us back here, so this is a good time as any to do that quest. Once again, it's gonna be super short. We just need to find the location, grab the necklace, and be done with it. And I chose Caras Galadon because I think there is a swift travel option in here that would save us some of our travels, some time.
Hail, friend, and well met.
It had ended still, I think. Yeah, gotta be. It had ended still, right? Yeah. Now you take a look in here. Ehad Andestel is really close to where we need to be. We could technically have gone back to making Bizru and just travel through the present day version of the Dimbril Dale. You can even travel through, visit the ruins of Amdan, and that's really cool. But I'm not sure we have enough time for that today, so we're just gonna focus on getting the necklace where it was hidden. And still, let me know just on the comments down below if you would like me still to give you a tour of the new version of the Dimbril Dale. Once again, there is not such a thing on the channel, but all players have had plenty of time to explore this place on their own after the release of Blood of Azog, see the new additions. But in any case, if you still want me to show that to you, just let me know and I'll do so. It's just that we don't have enough time today to check everything here. It's a really small map, but still, I don't want to spend too much time. I mean, we shouldn't technically even be here, going from Erebor to Lorien, back to Erebor. That doesn't add up when we really should be going to Gundabad. So this is just so that we can get the quest done. But as you see here, this bridge was not destroyed on Azanulbizar. Now we have a wooden bridge, so that's interesting. I don't think there should be any orcs in here, but you know, it would have been really nice if the LOTRO team had added a couple of level 60 quests in this area for all the players that are going through Moria, that leave Moria. Some sort of complement to the other quests in Lothlorien and that kind of stuff. But as far as I know, there are no new quests on the present version of the Dimbril Dale. So just coming here for the necklace, basically. Even if it was, those quests would be level 60. So they really wouldn't do anything that much for us. Maybe some reputation if they were to exist. But little else. It would have been really nice if they had taken the time to add some more extra quests to flesh out this new area, but well, it's a shame, but you get why they didn't. It's really not that necessary, but it's just a shame that at level 60 you really don't have a lot of incentive to come into this place. Can we explore the ruins of Ashmargathal and the tower? Most likely we can. There's so many things to explore in here. Maybe there is some sort of Easter egg. To be honest with you, I haven't taken the time to fully explore this place. Okay, the burial spot. Here we go. It's still here after all these years. And we need to bring that necklace to Hersegg. I'm feeling really tempted to go to Ashmargathal, but I'm gonna refrain from doing that. Gonna go back to the hole under the mountain. And okay, we can resume what we were doing. Now, something that I haven't showed you. There's not a good place for doing this, so might as well do it right now, just for funsies and just a short while. But we can use these guys of Hermáth Stormhammer. It's really fun using it and running around in Azanulbizar, but that's basically it. What have you done? You saw that? It switched the location of some of our skills. What? It's so weird. We're in a costume. You can do this for 3 hours. But if you enter combat, if you receive any damage, the costume goes away. And if we remove the costume, please tell me our quick slots will go back to normal. I don't get it. Why does it do that? Whoever knows, please let me know. This is so strange. Is this working as intended? Because I don't see any reason why your quick slots should be switching locations. It's so weird. So weird. Okay, it seems this was not the place. Oh no, yeah, here he is, Garni. Didn't see you, man. Sorry. Ah, Gabil'akkâ. I am glad the Angmar have left their old kingdom. So I guess the one who didn't told us where he was going is the one that was set for Gabil'akkâ. You okay?
What do you need?
How lovely this is. His wife was a woman of fine tastes and she would have loved this dearly. She joined her husband years ago, however. Their daughter Elgun, however, lives here in Erebor. But where in Erebor exactly? Oh, come on. You could really tell me a little bit more of it. Alright, I'll look for her. Here in Tumnudum, but where exactly, I don't know. And since I have a knack for getting lost in this place, I don't know how much time am I gonna take on discovering here. She's supposed to be on a lower level. Oh my god, I don't get this place. I've never gotten this place. I don't think I ever will. I mean, this is the spot, but of course, there she is. You know, I usually don't do this kind of stuff, but you are so hard to find. You could have given us a little bit more instructions to help us with that. Well, man, I am indeed Elgun. You hand her the necklace and tell her its story. She holds it gently, a look of sad wistfulness on her face. Thank you for bringing this back to our family. My mother never doubted he loved her. I never got to meet my father, but now I have a piece of him, and of their love. Yeah, as I told you, it's a really heartfelt little quest in there. Really short, but it's moving where it counts. Yeah, I have no idea how we were supposed to come in here. I'm trying to find a natural way down. Ah, okay, I get it. I think I get it. Through the stairs, across the waterfall. Okay, so simple when you know the answer, of course, but... I mean, we were really close there. I think that is the exact same reaction I had the first time I did this quest. So I guess I didn't need to overcomplicate things that much. It's just that we are a little hard pressed for time, not too much, but I, once again, want to finish the interlude on today's episode. Leave everything ready so that we can start Gundabad on the next one. So, just gotta... It's just one or two more quests that we need to complete as far as I remember. Okay, this definitely now should be the last time we explore the hole under the mountain. Fundini. Fundin the second. It's actually what sits there. It's just that the LOTRO name generator doesn't accept any spaces. But yeah, Fundin the second. It's the name. Very cool name. Very cool outfits. Again, I'm not the biggest Dwarven fan, but I can appreciate a good Dwarven character when you can see all the effort that went into it. All the passion too. There are so many people passionate about dwarves, as much as I am passionate about Gondor, for example. So I appreciate that, of course, even though I'm not shared the same extent of that passion.
It is done. Very good, my friend.
Let us hope their errands are done swiftly and without incident. If the reclamation is to succeed, a great many dwarves must answer the call to Elder's Lade.
It is time we dealt with the matter at hand, my friend.
When I sent you to seek out Hersegg at Akra Sahar, I also gave to her an errand. Although I sent Agnar, Lagi and Raisval to aid my son in his campaign, I must admit I hesitated to enlist another of my father's old friends in the Caranub-nar. Not because I did not think him suited to the task, but for reasons I am ashamed to give voice. But I have shrunken from my duty for long enough. As I had hoped, Hersegg has sent word that I have been invited to visit her family's home at Vosh Torú. Whether this meeting goes well or ill, Durin awaits your return. What say you, Beriathan? Will you accompany me?
I will show you the way to Vosh Torú, my friend.
Thank you, let us go.
Determined to aid his son Durin and the dwarves of the Gabil'akkâ to reclaim Mount Gundabad, King Thorin Stonehelm hopes to enlist an unexpected ally at the Lonely Mountain.
Ah, good. Hersegg is home.
It has been too long since last I spoke to Hermáth. King Thorin notes a look of surprise on your face. After a moment, he raises an eyebrow in what seems to be some sort of amusement. Ha! Hermáth may have grown old, but he is still a hell warrior and very much alive. I thought that was clear, my friend. Hersegg seems quite engrossed on her reading. Would you find out if Hermáth is around? So as you see here, of course, Hermáth is alive, and I am gonna stop you right there, King Thorin. That was not clear from the start. I already knew that because, well, I have already done this, but the very first time you do this, all the quests are written in a way that makes it seem like Hermáth has died, but on a revisit, you see they are ambiguous enough to hide the fact that he is alive. So that was well played on the dev's part, I gotta say. It's once again a small detail, but one that adds an extra layer to all these quests that we've been doing, and now we're about to meet Hermáth in the flesh.
Grandfather Hermáth? I never said he was dead.
Yeah, that's technically true. Oh, I am sorry, Beriathan, I didn't even hear you come in. You ask Hersegg if Hermáth is around, also noting the slight misunderstanding you had with King Thorin regarding her grandfather. Grandfather Hermáth? I never said he was dead. Hersegg chuckles to herself. Yes, of course. I'll let him know that King Thorin is here. That's enough reading for now, anyway. I'll be just a moment, King Thorin. I mean, you can go to that room and you can see Hermáth. Oh. I mean, I guess. But that would be rude. Please, come. As Hersegg crosses back into the hall, she beckons you forth. Come along, Beriathan. Right behind you. No, please don't do this. Okay. Little bit of lag, but here we are. As you enter, Hermáth turns to greet you. Ah, Thorin. I bid you welcome, King under the mountain. But who is this? Nice to meet you. I heard a lot about you. Hermáth looks at you appraisingly. It is an honor to meet you, Beriathan. The honor is all mine, of course. I am Hermáth Stormhammer, hero of Azanulbizar, keeper of Yarnfast, defender of the Lonely Mountain, wielder of Tenevadar, the Thunderstrike, grandfather of Hersegg. That's also true. Yes, grandfather of Hersegg. And father of... Bah, just call me Hermáth. A moment, Beriathan? King Thorin cleared his throat, seemingly a bit uneasy. I believe it is time I spoke to Hermáth. both to offer him a proposal and to apologize. Let me start by thanking Hersegg and Beriathan. It is because of them that we now speak. Although Hersegg has told you of the reason for my visit, I have also come to apologize. Apologize? What for? May I speak plainly, Hermáth? Of course, my king. Is something troubling you? It is about Durin. Your son, Durin. I see. When the Easterlings crossed through the Ironfold, I did what I thought was best. With war at our doorstep, I ordered my son to remain within Yarnfast until the battle's end. At that time, it seemed the wisest course. But as of late, I find myself questioning that decision and ashamed of its cost. Like my father, your son Durin died in the defense of the Lonely Mountain. He and so many other brave dwarves felt that Durin's folk might endure. Aye, he was a skilled warrior, far better than I. But then I remembered how you and father would speak when I was a boy. You believed that your son would be Durin come again, Durin the Deathless, reborn at last. But now I fear I have wrought a fate for our sons against the design of the first crafter. What would have been if my Durin joined the battle? Would their fates have been different? Would your son have lived? Would mine have fallen in his stead? You were my father's dearest friend, Hermáth. And I have stolen from you something that can never be repaid. I have left Hersegg without a father. Though not of blood, you are my kin, and I have failed you. How could I dare to ask anything else of you? You notice Thorin has begun weeping. Oh, Thorin. I cannot help but see Dane's boy behind those eyes. When some mocked you as Stonehelm, I knew better. I did not begrudge you your decisions then, and neither do I now. My son Durin was a hero. I mourn him as any father would, but you bear a needless burden. I do not look back in anger or bitterness, but with pride. Durin was my son, and I loved him. Do not mistake our sorrows for your guilt. If their fates were truly wrought by the first crafter, it would have come to pass just the same. You are the king under the mountain. You have always known wisdom beyond your years. Tell me, Thorin, do I speak falsely? Dry your tears, my king. You wish for me to aid your son and his Gabil'akkâ? Is that right? Yes. You need only have asked. I will do it, Thorin. Thank you, Hermáth. I do not know what to say. As our conversation comes to an end, King Thorin beckons you over. Come here, Garliv. Don't get in the picture. You know the drill, too. Come on. Come over here, boy. Come over here. Yeah. That's it. My heart feels lighter this day, Beriathan. I am pleased that Hermáth and I could finally speak plainly of our sorrows, and I am even more pleased that he has entertained the idea of joining the Gabil'akkâ.
I think that went well, my friend.
I think so too.
You must understand, Hermáth was my father's friend, not mine.
After what happened at the end of the war, I fear he would want nothing to do with me. I know how Hermáth Durin was to him, and my heart aches that his son fell in defense of the Lonely Mountain. Yet, young Hersegg has her father's spirit. If Hermáth honors my request as he says, I think he will have a difficult time convincing Hersegg to stay behind. I must return to the hole under the mountain, my friend. But thank you for helping me to clear the air between us. As King Thorin leaves, Hersegg calls you over.
Welcome, traveler.
If my grandfather is going to join the Gabil'akkâ, then so am I. From the other room, you hear Hermáth chuckle to himself. I am no younger than your old friend Dane was when he went to war. Who knows what sort of title I might win for myself? I am going to gather my things, Beriathan. My grandfather can try to stop me if he wishes. I don't think he will.
Would you please give this old dwarf a moment to equip himself? Go on.
I couldn't keep her even if I wanted to, Beriathan. Hermáth smiles to himself. After a moment, he looks around his room, his gaze landing upon his old armor and hammer. Wait outside a moment and I will meet you in the dwelling halls. Would you please give this old dwarf a moment to equip himself? Go on. Yeah, you read my mind, Hermáth, because even though we don't need to come back here, as far as I know, I still want to know where exactly the entrance to Vosh Torú is located. Now, you say you are taking a look at your hammer and your armor, and to be honest, I don't see it. Are they supposed to be kept in this chest? Because other than that, I don't see it. Well, yeah, I'm gonna leave you to your thoughts. I'm gonna wait outside. Take all the time you need. You have left Vosh Torú and should now wait for Hermáth Stormhammer. Right next to the Gabil'akkâ. The Azanulbizar, sorry. I wouldn't still know how to make my way back here, but at least I know where it is. Behind the barber, okay. After a brief wait, Hermáth and Hersegg walk out of Vosh Torú.
There!
Now that is more like it.
It's time we set out, I think.
I am not the young dwarf I once was, so better we travel sooner than later. But before we go, you should speak to King Thorin. After all, he will wish to know that another dwarf is coming with us. Hermáth gestures to Hersegg. Come along, Beriathan. We ought to find him in the hole under the mountain. Okay, you know what would be really fun? Again, just to mess around a little bit. Look, Hersegg, you have two grandfathers now. Of course, one of them is older than the other, but this is so fun. So much fun. Once again, our quick slots are switching places. I don't know what happens with this. And it's not the entire bar, or is it? I mean, any way you look at it, it's strange, it's weird. Okay, that is the whole of the Caranupnar. But once again, I don't know how to leave this place. It's once again gonna be much more simpler. Don't need to overcomplicate things. Alright. Okay, yeah. Much more simpler. At least this time I was able to find the right way. Back to King Thorin. And then who knows? And right on time, I gotta say. That's also good. Right, now this definitely, I know I have said this a lot of times already, but this definitely has to be the last chance we get to visit the hole under the mountain. King Thorin has got to send us back to Durin right now, I think. Some runes. Once again, a lot of uncapped teal runes. We gotta save those for later. You arrive at King Thorin's throne with Hermáth and Hersegg at your side. Ah, Beriathan. It is high time you return to my son, I think. After all, there is a war to be won, and the mountain home awaits. Although I am certain my father Dane would have been just as eager to join in the reclamation of Mount Gundabad, I am pleased that Hermáth will be there to guide Durin in the coming days of his campaign. You have done much to aid my son. For that, I and all of Durin's folk thank you. May the Gabil'akkâ triumph.
Lead the way, my new friend.
A moment, Beriathan. Hermáth Stormhammer looks to King Thorin and speaks. Do not fear for your son, Thorin. Your father Dane was so proud when he was born, and rightly so. Each of us hoped that our sons would be Durin reborn, and though it was not fated to be for my son, I still hold hope that Durin will embody his namesake when the time is right. Hermáth Stormhammer turns back to you. Lead the way, my new friend. The prince awaits us. Okay, the quest will automatically take us to Annâk-khurfu, but I want to take the time now to talk about, well, what we have just learned, that there was another Durin. And when I first learned about this, I still don't know what to think. Once again, I'm not the most knowledgeable guy when it comes to Dwarven lore, but as far as I knew, only one Durin was named each generation, and that Durin was of the royal family. So the revelation that there was a second Durin that has died defending Erebor is surprising. The doubts that the dwarves had about which of these Durins would be the Durin reborn are also surprising because, once again, it was my understanding that you could only have one Durin at each time. So, I mean, Hermáth's son might have been called Durin, but he was no Durin the Deathless. Come again. But, well, I guess we are getting a little bit ahead of ourselves, so let us go back to Annâk-khurfu, because we're getting really close to Gundabad, the mountain home. Oh my god, I cannot believe I'm saying those words. We're getting so close. As you arrive at Annâk-khurfu, Hermáth and Hersegg look out upon Elderslade. It has been a long time, but the slate is still as I remember it. This old fortress had a different name during the Sixth War, but Annâk-khurfu is more fitting, I think. I am glad that our paths...
It's been a long time, but the slate is still as I remember it.
I am glad that our paths have crossed, Beriathan. When the time comes to reclaim Gundabad, I will consider myself fortunate to have you at my side, and I am sure Durin will think much the same. I ought to not keep Prince Durin waiting, so I will meet you inside, my friend. As Hermáth walks into Annâk-khurfu, Hersegg sighs.
So this is Elderslade? It's smaller than it seemed in my grandfather's stories.
Hersegg pauses. It is beautiful though, and Mount Gundabad is greater than I could have ever imagined. But this is not a time for tours. I should introduce myself to the Dwarves of the Gabil'akkâ and see what needs to be done. I'm sure I'll see you around, Beriathan. After all, this won't be the last time you hear my name. Dashing off, Hersegg enters Annâk-khurfu, and we ought to do the same. Now, we are about to enter the interlude, something that once again is fully optional. You can go from chapter 4 right straight to chapter 5, but much like Wildermore, I think this is not a portion of the story that you can speak, because much like Wildermore, you are introduced to some characters that will play a big part in the story as you progress. So it would feel really weird not getting to know these characters. Although, if you don't do the interlude, you can still headcanon in a way that Hermáth and Hersegg were part of the army. You just haven't met them before. But I still think you still gotta do the interlude and get to know Hermáth and Hersegg. Much like Thrym, having the character show right out of nowhere would be really weird in my book. But I would say, I think the Battle of Azanulbizar, the story of Hermáth, is way more interesting than the story of Wildermore. So this is a moment of the story that I don't mind repeating, to be honest with you. With Hermáth Stormhammer near at his side, Durin appears both confused and awed.
When I asked my father to send his aid, I did not expect you to return with Hermáth Stormhammer.
Durin appears overwhelmed. Hermáth and I have spoken since his arrival, and we have agreed that the Gabil'akkâ will march on Mount Gundabad at dawn. In 7 days, of course. Those that would answer the master will need time to travel to Elderslade, and I eagerly await their arrival. Every dwarf shall have a role to play in the reclamation of Mount Gundabad. Well, it's gonna be 7 days for Durin and the dwarves, but it's gonna be just 1 day for us, and that is so exciting. Although I gotta say, if the dwarves can arrive at Elderslade from Thorin's Hall, Gabil'akkâ and Gabil'shatuur in just 7 days, they are as fast as we are, if not faster. My god, that is a long journey.
Were it not for you and Chloe, thank you, my friend.
I can hardly believe how much has changed since you departed Elderslade. I am told you studied Hermáth's account of the Sixth Ward, and perhaps I should as well when at last I return to the Lonely Mountain. In the meantime, I am fortunate enough to have the Stormhammer at my side. The last blood of Azog still dwells within Mount Gundabad, but when the final test comes in those hallowed halls, we shall be victorious. Neither Gorgar nor Hrimil shall keep us from our prize. Were it not for you and Glóin, I... Thank you, my friend. So we got here more Virtue XP, Fidelity is now level 59, that's amazing. We have a new frame as well. These runes are level 121, we can safely use it. The Blood of Azog frame, that one is bound to character. Let us check it really quick. It's a really nice frame, especially for dwarven characters once again. But once again, nothing beats the Beacon of Gondor for a Gondorian character, so we're gonna keep using that one. So that was it. That's the end of the interlude, Blood of Azog. It used to provide 1 trait point, but ever since the release of Before the Shadow, that's no longer the case, that's no longer needed. In any case, we have just finished the interlude. Hermáth Stormhammer has arrived at Annâk-khurfu, and when next we meet, we will at long last march towards Gundabad. That, however, will have to come on the next episode. For the time being, this has been all on today's episode of Citadel Guard Adventures. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I hope to see you on the next one. Until then, my friends, stay safe, take care, and I will see you later.